Hi, in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to build a multiplayer game using FPS Creator. After watching our first episode where we built a single player game, you'll notice right off the bat that FPS Creator is in single player mode. Now there's three different methods that you can use to get to multiplayer mode. The first method is to go File, New Arena, which will turn the background to red. This signifies that we're in multiplayer mode. The next method is to go File, Open, and select a multiplayer map. And finally, the third method is to go File, Preferences, and then at the bottom, where it says Multiplayer, make sure that Multiplayer is selected instead of Single Player. Now, I'm going to change this to Single Player because I am going to actually open a multiplayer map here to show you something. So I'm going to come up and go File, Open, and choose MP Test, which you'll have also on the CD or you can download it. Now once this loads up, first thing you'll notice is the background is red, so this signifies that it is a multiplayer map indeed. Now the second thing I wanted to show you is you'll notice in the level itself there are no player start markers. There are, however, characters. These characters were once enemies basically in single player, but now what these characters actually are is they are the players that join. So you'll notice when you go over to markers and you click on player start to add one into a multiplayer game, you'll notice that FPS Creator automatically has a little label at the bottom that says player start not used. So this just tells you that you cannot use it in a multiplayer game. However, what you want to do is this level is set up for a 1 versus 1. If I wanted to add more characters, I would come over to the entities, choose one of the characters that I've already put in, or simply add a new entity into the game. So currently I'm adding a zombie. So what this does is when 3 people join the game, or anyone joins the game, they'll get the option to play as a zombie, which is unarmed, the colonel, which has this set up for assault, or a Keo, which automatically has a shotgun. Depending on how you set up your level will also mean how many players can play. So what I'm going to do is go to our file menu and choose build game and start building our multiplayer game. Now everything is exactly the same as we covered before in our single player, except for one area, which is arena here. But first thing I want to do, because we're actually going to build a multiplayer game, is go over to our level settings, click on the map name, and change it to our multiplayer map. This is the one thing that you'll want to make sure that you have almost absolutely right, or else your game will not work. You'll also notice that FPS Creator only allows 1 level per multiplayer game. There are some programs out there on the forums at thegamecreators.com that allow you to basically add more maps into your game, but I will not cover them because they're not part of FPS Creator. They're a third-party tool which you can get off their forums. So again, going back to arena settings, because this is the only new area that which we have not covered, we'll start off with arena objective. What we have is first to complete objective. This checkbox, what it does is basically if you have set up objectives in your level, the first player to complete all the objective wins. Underneath that we have first to, and then we can input a number, frags. So if I say the number 25, that means the first player to get 25 kills will win the game. Underneath that we have highest frag within, and then we can put in a number, seconds. So what this means is if I wanted my game to last 1 minute, so 60 seconds, the first person or the highest person with the number of kills within 60 seconds or 1 minute will win that game. Underneath that we also have some arena settings. We can enable one-shot kills, So basically, whether or not you get hit by a bazooka or a rock being thrown, you will be killed with one hit. Underneath that, we have maximum number of players. This number must range from anywhere between 2 and 8. Depending on how your level is set up, this is the number that you're going to want to be able to join. Our current level is only set up for 2 players, so I'm going to leave that alone. Finally, we have spawning. We can check spawn from the default start marker, and what that means is if the player selects, say, a Kyo, which is at the top, the player will always spawn from that point after they die. If we click on from a random start marker, the game will choose one of our 2 points to spawn the player. It's all random. They may spawn in the same spot twice, but they can spawn at the other person's spot. This makes it easier for when you're first starting out and you don't have any weapons to run around and basically weapon shop before you kill your friend. Finally, the same thing is in build settings, where you have game executable folder, your executable name, and the different effects. So what I'm going to do is just click build game here, and then I'll show you how to say package your game to send to your friend or send over the email.